The state of Georgia selected in 2014 to host the Triple Crown USA Nationals. And it's semifinal time on CBS Sports Network. East Cobb Bullets of Georgia and the Gold Coast Hurricanes of Florida squaring off on our main coverage today at the Triple Crown USA Nationals. It's semifinal time. And the forest surrounds our semifinal and championship field tonight here at Fowler Park in Cumming, Georgia. It's the TC USA Nationals, the semifinals of the 18 and under platinum bracket. A power-packed tournament all week long in the Cumming and Forsyth County, Georgia area. And we have arrived at the big time of the top 4 teams remaining in this clash. The East Cobb Bullets will begin with the bats in our semifinal matchup. Cook, Sinclair, and Bell will be the first 3 in the order that we'll see here in the top of the first inning for East Cobb Bullets out of Georgia. And for Gold Coast Hurricanes of Florida, a team that is familiar with TV appearances, having been on multiple Triple Crown tournament productions on CBS Sports Network. The Hurricanes send to the circle to handle the pitching duties in this semifinal, Julia DiMartino. Julia out of Brockport, New York, plays for Gold Coast Hurricanes in Florida and does a little commuting to get hooked up with her club softball team. Julia gets the honors today, a 2015 high school grad, so about to start her senior year of high school. Pretty high times in the life of young Ms. DiMartino. How about these for memories, Michelle?
Yeah, definitely memory making for sure. A lot of these kids really train hard in the summer, look to get scholarships to go on and play school. But one of the things I like about the Gold Coast Hurricanes is that they're always fundamentally very skilled. Barney Cooper does a good job of making sure these kids are working on and off the field and in season and off season.
Marty Cooper, along with Sid, the owner of the Hurricanes club, and Marty and Sid really do a great job with that, not only with this club but with the Rising Stars events that they are I've been doing for, what, 20 years in South Florida, and those will be coming up again through the summer and into the fall and the winter, and a great opportunity for players all around the country, and especially on the East Coast, to get seen by college coaches. We're ready for pitch number 1 of our semifinal, Hurricanes and Bullets. DiMartino strike 1 on the first pitch, running through, taking a good look at that, and there we get a good look at Nikki Cook. Nikki is out of Beaufort, Georgia. And she takes strike 2, the leadoff batter, nicknamed Cookie. Fair enough. When you're Nikki Cook, that's an easy one.
Well, she's hoping to get a cookie from DiMartino.
This ball shot foul down the third baseline, and so Nikki stays in the count, but she's down 0-2. Good start by DiMartino, just going right at it here.
Well, that's one of the big keys for pitchers, is to get ahead early against batters and get that first hitter of the inning out.
And now Cook goes into battle mode, fouling off a couple of pitches. That an up pitch, kind of a tie-up pitch, and she was able to get it back to the backstop on a 63-mile-per-hour delivery from DiMartino. Good velocity right out of the gates. Here comes an 0-2 leadoff batter of our game. Cook just jamming away.
Well, it's great to be able to locate the ball, put it on the corners, and you know, we always say if you can dominate and own the inside corner, it makes it a lot harder for the offense to get their hands extended, especially if you can mix speeds.
So not a ball thrown yet. And jinx on me. My apologies, Julia. 1-2 the count now as Julia's pitch flies up high, 62 miles per hour. Good velocity again. Nikki Cook, stepping back into the left side batter's box, told us earlier today, make sure people follow me at Nikki Cook. And almost followed that right down the third base line. It's at NIKICOOK for those of you who are on Twitter right now, at Nikki Cook. And I told Nikki, okay, she has over 1,000 followers. I said, well, let's see if we can double that.
Yeah, that's right.
In the semifinal game. So Nikki was working the social media earlier, and all the teams met with us to talk through some information earlier today after their quarterfinal round wins. And Nikki Cook, what a great leadoff at bat. Oh, single for Nikki.
That's worth at least 1,000 followers. Leadoff base hit in the game.
Go ahead. Michelle just did.
I'm following. I'm following. Well, Nikki, she's quite the character, and she's also quite the leadoff hitter. This pitch up in the zone, and she's just going to take it the opposite direction. Exactly what you want to do. Good job of really slowing her momentum down on that crossover as she slaps through the box and drives it the opposite way.
So safely on first, there is Nikki Cook of Buford, Georgia. Set up a play at Shorter University. She just graduated high school, and now with herself safely on base, Kelly Sinclair, the third baseman today for East Cobb Bullets, is batting the #2 spot. Out of Marietta, Georgia, that is really where EC, or East Cobb, that's the hub of the program in Marietta, but of course they draw from all around the state and even around the country, as we've seen already briefly discussed. There'll be a couple of players from other locations. A 1-1 count to Kelly Sinclair. Gold Coast Hurricanes, the home team by coin flip in the semifinals. On the other field, Corona Angels, the home team. And this square around gets back and gets a piece of the catcher, and now we're going to buy a little time, and Lauren Newmark got a good piece of that off the catcher's gear.
Just right off the mask. Always rings the bell a little bit.
So Lulu, her preferred first name, Lauren the official, and Lulu Newmark is who you're looking at the back of. Luckily she's up and moving around. You know, good move here. Marty Cooper, I'm sure, you know, talking to her, not letting her know he's checking, but verifying concussion symptoms. And that's what coaches have to do anymore. And it's the right thing to do, is step out and just talk to them, make sure they get a good read on you, their eyeballs look right. And Lulu's back behind it with a 2-1 count. It's going to be a 1-2 count. Make it a 1-2 count. I think we had a foul back on that bunt. Umpire just tweaked that for us. So 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody out and a runner on for the Bullets.
And even with 2 strikes here, classic situation where Sinclair needs to try to put the ball down on the ground. Productive out, even if she's out. She wants to try to move her teammate up 60 feet, especially early on in the game.
DiMartino's pitch. Just got a piece of that. Bounced it off the retaining wall on our sunken diamond. Pretty cool setup here with the fans up above the field looking down at the action by, it's probably a good 4-foot wall, maybe close to 5 feet tall behind the plate. Balls will come flying off there. That one did. It caught a piece. There's padding back there, but it caught a piece of the concrete and shot back. Catchers have to be alive for balls loose behind them. Fought off, and again, 2-strike hitting. So the first 2 hitters, showing why they are the first 2 hitters in the order for EC Bullets. Kelly Sinclair, much like her predecessor in the box, Nikki Cook, battles deep in the count and finds a way on base.
Well, when I talked to Coach Schnudi at the beginning of the game, he was saying that, you know, they obviously have a very good pitcher in Barnhill, but they have a strong offense, showing it already here early on in the game. Just getting the 2 table setters on base, waiting for their big boppers to come up here, 3, 4, and 5.
So EC Bullets off to a very nice start, trying to get their way into the championship game, also televised this evening on CBS Sports Network. It will follow our semifinal coverage. Malia Bell, batting #3 in the order. Squares, runner breaks, and the throw is wide. Safely in, Nikki Cook steals it. Now the trail behind by Kelly Sinclair. It was Nikki Cook making it happen. Good slide to the back of the bag. Now she's going to fix the bag herself. Here's a look at the steal.
Well, I love the way that the Bullets are aggressive early on in the game. They take advantage of what they're given. And so Cook with a great turnover rate, quick feet. She gets a good lead and gets into the bag on time.
She's doing everything. After she slid, Nikki started to pull the base out because it came off of its anchor. And then she yielded and let third base umpire Percy Wilson have the rest of that. But at Nikki Cook on Twitter is not afraid to help out any way she can with a leadoff base hit, a stolen base, and a third base repair. Great situation now. Nobody out. Runners on second, third. Good work by DiMartino getting a pop-up, but it's going to sail just foul. About 5 feet too wide down the third baseline, and the Hurricanes can't steal an out on that swing.
Lucky break for the Bullets on that one. And you know, you're talking about Nikki Cook and her Twitter followers. I'm sure she took a selfie. She and I did a pregame selfie. It was actually a bathroom pregame selfie when the team we were in there.
This just gets better every time you add more
better
words
and better.
to it. This ball is sent way foul.
So the one thing she said when she was leaving, she's like, "Now make sure you retweet me." And I said, "I will, Nikki. I promise."
She's not missing a beat. She's got this whole PR marketing thing figured out. Malia Bell. Now in the best count that the Bullets can find. She's got 2 strikes against her, and that's been great so far for the Bullets. This time it's popped on the infield, and that will be handled. And the Hurricanes record an out on the 3rd batter to come to the plate. And it's Ashley Bellens hauling in the pop-up for the first out. On the left side with her over there, Gianna Arizarieta took a look at that foul pop before that. That's the left side for the Hurricanes defense. We saw DiMartino in this circle with 1 out and 2 on, and she'll face Morgan Walters. Mizzou will gladly welcome Morgan to campus when she moves into her collegiate career. Takes strike 1, does Morgan Walters. Again, a freshly minted high school grad in 2014. And so in, probably less than a month, I suppose, or right around a month's time, it's off to Columbia, Missouri from Gainesville, Georgia, Morgan Walters. Pretty good opportunity to cover some ground, take her game out into, I guess we call it the Midwest. It's kind of the
Midwest, I'd call it Midwest.
Okay.
Western part of the SEC. I'm sure Aaron Earlywine very happy about that.
0-2 count to Morgan Walters. Takes a pitch up for a 1-2 count. Dugout supporting the pitching efforts here as the first inning. No damage yet. It's been a challenging first inning, but the Hurricanes trying to slide away Julia DiMartino in another good count. You know, she's got traffic out there, but she has set up great counts on every batter. This is 4 batters in, and heavy 2-strike counts to every batter so far.
Yeah, and even the hits that she gave up, just well-placed hits. Jam job, and the first one was a pretty good line drive, but you know, sometimes that's part of pitching. You got to learn that you can make the perfect pitch, but sometimes the batter beats you.
So DiMartino, who loves cats, she thought that was important to note. Here she gets another saw-off, and that falls foul. DiMartino stays up 1-2 in this count. And you're right, really, a ball here or there has been barreled, but really not much on the barrel yet for the top of the order for the Bullets. DiMartino trying to work out at 62 miles per hour, trying to get that strikeout. A big strikeout here is big. Number 4 batter in for the Bullets. No force on the bases. So a ball down in play. Should score a run. And strike 3 delivered inside part of the plate. Big pitch at the inside corner, and it's the second out. Let's check in on our double coverage semifinal field with Amanda Scarborough.
Well, the Firecrackers are still hitting in the top of the first, already ahead 2-0 against the Angels, and still a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. But it's been hitting with 2 outs with the Firecrackers. It's really been able to get them going. Allie Wester, their 2-hole, started everything by laying down a drag from the left side, and that forced the defense to make an error. But this is what got their inning going. Following up from her, there was an out recorded, but then Nicole DeWitt came up with 2 outs, had an RBI double off of a 3-2 changeup. Look at her going opposite field on a changeup. That's going to score the first run. And then, guys, after that, Genevieve Perez had an RBI single, and Firecrackers still have 2 on right now with Nicole Bates up to bat.
And you see Rachel Garcia taking the ball back, 0-0 for the Corona Angels, doing the pitching on our double coverage field. So thanks to the update, Amanda. Firecrackers, as always, explosive, and they're doing it here in Georgia, trying to advance to our televised championship game of the Triple Crown USA Nationals on CBS Sports Network. EC Bullets hoping to manufacture a run out of what started as a giant threat, 2 on, nobody down, and second and third, nobody down. Now Autumn Parrish batting the number 5 spot. Takes ball 4. Parrish draws the walk to load the bases, and the Bullets hoping to strike first in the top of the first. Alexa Strid from Stevens City, Virginia. There's Alexa with Bullets teammates everywhere on the bases. Big at bat right out of the gates here. And Alexa, going to be a sophomore at BYU, redshirted as a freshman this past season for BYU, a 2013 high school grad. Finished high school at a young age and able to still play in this national event. Here is Alexa, fouls off the first pitch, 0-1 count. Nothing on the board yet for EC Bullets, and this pitch fouled right into us, and it'll be 0-2 again.
Well, Alexa pulling that front shoulder out. She really needs to try to keep that front shoulder in and almost kind of drive that left shoulder toward the ball so she's not rotating around it. If she can keep that front shoulder locked in, try to drive it right back up the middle.
This pitch up and popped up. Hurricanes trying to get off the hook, and they escape. 2 on with at second and third with nobody out, and the Hurricanes get 3 in a row and keep it 0-0 through the first half of an inning. Hurricanes due up next on CBS Sports Network. 0-0 after 3 outs, and the Gold Coast Hurricanes due up to bat. Couple of hits for the Bullets in the top of the first, but no scoreboard damage. And so we head into the bottom of the first of this 7-inning game, tied at 0. They don't throw a no Twitter during today's game. Use hashtag #TeamFastPitch. Fans are tweeting from the bleachers, viewers tweeting from home, and Michelle will tweet from the booth here at some point. We'll get her to do that as she always does for us. Get in the game, hashtag #TeamFastPitch. Bottom of the first begins with a swinging strike 1, and Lily Mann is down 0-1, and now she's going to come out of the box. 1 pitch and a meeting with the third base coach, Marty Cooper. So, Michelle, there's 1 pitch thrown and 1 strike on the board, and offensive conference. What do you imagine's happening right there?
Well, I'm sure and he's just saying, look, you got to be on time. You got to be quick. Barnhill throws the ball hard at about 67, 68 miles an hour when she's on. Now, this is her second game of the day, but you know, you can't be late to contact. You got to get the front foot down, get the hands extended, and try to drive that ball right back up the middle.
Second pitch is down for ball 1, a 1-1 count for the EC Bullets. Kelly Barnhill is the pitcher who Michelle just mentioned, out of Marietta, Georgia. Kelly Barnhill, a 2015 scheduled high school grad, trying to decide between a couple of great options collegiately. Would love to play at Florida or Stanford, and also has a cousin, Brittany, who is a pitcher at Ole Miss. So Kelly Barnhill, number 33 in the circle, carrying on a family tradition and show off on television today.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's all right. Lily Mann looks at this pitch and swings through it, 1 out. Bullets off to a better start defensively than the Hurricanes were. But, Michelle, what a big deal for the Hurricanes. And in the pitching category, here's a look, by the way, at that last.
Oh, Barnhill is just going to get Mann to swing through a pitch that comes up, and then you see that rise ball. Barnhill throws a good rise drop change combo, and that pitch going upstairs. So Barnhill just really knows how to explode off the pitching rubber and get that great movement.
Callie Jones now joins us in the left side batter's box. Jonesy out of Kissimmee, Florida, about to start her senior year of high school. A verbal commitment to UNC Wilmington does Callie. And she has got a 1-1 count at 66 miles per hour. So you mentioned the velocity that we're likely to see from Barnhill. We just saw 66. That's a high on the radar gun so far today. Diving effort behind the plate, falls foul. 1-2 count after that ball found its way down to the ground.
Nice effort by Becca Prairie, the catcher. Look at the way she's going to dive out for this. She's committed to the University of Georgia. Nice effort.
Great read, got up quick and sold out. Just out of the reach of Becca Prairie from Valdosta, Georgia. Here she jumps up and handles a high strike 3 that blasted through the zone and ended the at-bat for Jones.
Well, Jones is just going to go after a rise ball that's well out of the zone. And right now, Barnhill just showing how dominating she can be with that rise ball up in the zone.
With 2 outs in the bottom of the first, Ashley Bellens, the number 3 batter for Gold Coast Hurricanes, takes a strike and takes a walk away from the batter's box in disagreement with the strike call. 0-1 count. Pulling the string and slowing it down. That pitch drops down for a ball, 53 miles per hour.
But the key is using that pitch. You don't always have to throw it for a strike. When you mix speeds, it gives you the ability to make that pitch up in the zone look that much harder to hit.
Now this pitch up and sent deep to left. Gonna clear the left fielder, stay in the park, and at least a double pulling up right there. First big ball of the day is driven by Ashley Bellens, double to left field.
Well, Bellens doing exactly what you want to do on a rise ball if you can take it from high to higher and bash it up. So you get a pitch that's not out of zone, that is hittable. You just drive your hands from high to higher. So take a look at the location of this pitch. Barnhill's going to throw a rise ball up and inside. And Bellens is just going to get her hands extended over the top of it. Great effort out in left field, but that ball is going to be easily a stand-up double.
So that brings Jordan Roberts to the plate. Jordan with 2 outs and Bellens out at second base. Taylor Dupree, the left fielder, made a good diving effort at that ball, ran hard and tracked it, just could not track it down. 1-0 count here with 2 away. And a nice pitch on the inside part of the plate for a 1-1 count. Out in left field, it was Dupree sailing after that ball. These fences down the line's 225, a little deeper than your standard depth for fast pitch softball. So Dupree had a lot of ground to cover out there. And you see a look at our wooded forest and a nice Fowler Park. It's the name of our host park. Fowler is the location today. A great park tucked inside of the very lush environs here in Cumming, Georgia. Forsyth County. Also ball fields in Alpharetta and Gainesville, Georgia, used for this TCUSA Nationals. Thanks to Gainesville, Alpharetta, and Cumming and Forsyth County for their support. 44 ball fields in use for this event, and there is a strike 3 pitch. Barnhill does good work around the double. Those 3 strikeouts get her out of that double blast that was hit by Bellens at 0-0 after 1 inning. Let's check back in with Amanda.
Well, Angels are answering back against the Firecrackers with vengeance. They've scored 4 runs, still have no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. There were 2 back-to-back singles followed by an error that got the Angels started. And then Abigail Lockman comes up and gets a bases-loaded clearing double, which scored 3. And then right after that, Ashley Goodwin came up to knock Lockman in. So that is the score right now is 4-2. No outs, and we have a pitching change here for the Firecrackers.
Offensive over there on Amanda's field. Runs flying up on the board as the Angels and Firecrackers battle to get into our televised championship game at the TCUSA Nationals. Angels up now 4-2, and on our field 0-0 after 1. Back with more after this. Brooke Wall and the whole group at GH Pins. Great artwork, final product, and customer service. Here's to creating the perfect pin, ghpins.com. Our thanks again to GH Pins, a longtime partner of the Triple Crown Sports National Sporting Series and also the Triple Crown Television Series on CBS Sports Network. Thad Anderson, Michelle Smith, and Amanda Scarborough with you from Cumming, Georgia today. Into the top of the second of our lead coverage, our main coverage in this double coverage sequence of semifinals. Side-by-side fields here at Fowler Park, and the East Cobb Bullets and Gold Coast Hurricanes scoreless after 1. The Bullets put 3 runners on base in the top of the first with a couple of singles and a walk. The Hurricanes answered with 1 runner on second on a double, but nothing on the scoreboard, and we sit scoreless in the top of 2. Left fielder Taylor Dupree, who we saw chase and dive in left field in the bottom of the first. College of Charleston in her future. Taylor is leading off the top of the second. Out of Augusta, Georgia, not far from where we're at.
College of Charleston, really nice school. Linda Califalis now the head coach down there, and after spending quite a few years at Ohio State, so really starting to build that program up. It's great to see all the opportunities these young athletes get. That, you know, it's amazing the way the sport really has grown over the last 20 to 30 years. In fact, that's one of the things that Greg Schnudy was talking about with the East Cobb Bullets. They were 18 years in existence. They started in 1997 when basically SEC softball started up to be a Division I women's programs and conference.
Dupree strike 3, and Taylor is out on the strikeout pitch. The second strikeout of the game for DiMartino. Got a big one in the first inning with a couple of runners on. Got a pop up in the strikeout that helped her work her way out of it. Later got a pop out to end a bases loaded threat, and now leads off the top of the second with a strikeout. Goes off speed to start this at bat and sends it in at 45 miles per hour to Hannah Farrell. There's a ball 1-1. DiMartino showed just a little bit of shoulder drop after that pitch. Not sure she agreed with the call. Should she be wearing the mask? She might have called it differently. But now she'll send in another missed pitch. 3-0 the count. Advantage for Hannah Farrell, the first baseman for EC Bullets. Green Lightner here.
At this point, early in the game, probably not.
And a nice edge pitch.
Yep.
Don't want to pour it right down the middle, just in case the green light's on. 62 miles per hour there.
Exactly. You know, I think in this situation where you're early, you're trying to get base runners on. Late in the game, take a big hack in it, especially if you're 3-4. I mean, down in the lineup at 7 and 8, 9. It's debatable, but to me, that right there, the walk is what's most important. You got to get on base.
And she earned it. Hannah Farrell laid off a pitch that sailed away. 61 miles per hour. So Hannah is on, and for the second straight inning traffic for the Bullets in the first and in the second. Hannah Farrell, who just walked, by the way, has a farm that includes 3 horses, 6 cows, 10 chickens, 5 sheep, and 7 pigs. I want to give them all an acknowledgement.
Yeah,
that's a lot of
right.
that's a lot of livestock. And now the pitcher hitting for herself, Kelly Barnhill, and a woman after Michelle Smith's own heart.
Yeah, that's right. Love those hitting pitchers. They make me smile.
We've talked about this in the past, Michelle. Here comes 0-1 pitch. Make it 0-2 on the foul back. Good work by DiMartino after the 5-pitch walk. Start off with a strikeout and then gave up the walk. Gets back to work against her counterpart, Barnhill. We've talked about this before. For you, the difference when pitching, as far as how hitting affects your game, the old debate of, do you need to go in and focus on your job in the circle, or does it actually help you pitch better by hitting? What are your thoughts for young players today on how you approach that?
Well, I always liked to hit because to me it was a relaxing part of the game. I had the opportunity to help myself out. I always think that pitchers have that vested interest in doing that. So I think it's a good thing. If it's an all-around athlete, I would definitely let him hit.
Strikeout, the second strikeout of the inning, sandwiched around a walk. Runner on first is Farrell, and Barnhill a strikeout victim. The third K recorded by DiMartino in this game. And so the 2 away, 1 on situation with the Bullets batting in the top of the second. Again, a 7-inning game is queued up here on the semifinal round of the TCUSA Nationals. The pitch gets the zone, back to the top of the order. Nikki Cook singled her first time up, advanced on a single by Sinclair and stole third base with nobody out, and then was marooned out there at third base back in the first. Drops down a bunt, just dies in front of the plate. Quick throw off the back of Cook. Hit her right in the lower back, and she is safe. That's an infield single. Good hop out of the box from behind the plate and a quick throw, but Cook wears it right below the 8.
Well, Nikki Cook has great footwork, the way she comes through the box. Very high turnover rate. Look at her feet. Look at the way that she's going to turn over and get that ball down. So nice job there. Rides it right down the line. She's in the lane, which is where she needs to be, in the running lane. She's not in the field of play. So even though she gets hit in the back, it's definitely still a base hit.
Lulu Newmark, the catcher, popped out and made the throw. Good job hopping on the play, but not able to catch up with the advancement down the line. And second baseman covering on that, checking out the wrist. Denver Keller got involved in that too. A little collision with the glove on the runner coming by. I don't know if there's a strike one to the number 2 batter, Kelly Sinclair. I don't know if Marty Cooper was asking about that on the runner's lane conversation, but good point, Michelle, an important point that you put down a great bunt and have a chance to get on, and a lot of players will spoil that by running not where they're supposed to.
Exactly, and it's so important. That's why they put that big white line down the baseline.
Ball fouled, and Kelly Sinclair, the third baseman, now facing an 0-2 count. Comfortable here. We saw her with a 2-strike count last inning hang up a single. But how about the batting order rollover here in the second inning, already sending players to the plate for the second time.
And there's a look at the running lane that we're talking about. That white line outside of the first base line is where you got to run when you put the bunt down, so the catcher has a lane to throw in.
And on a drop third, you need to do the same thing, but no drop third there as the Hurricanes again get out of some traffic. Score still tied 0-0. Bottom of the second next. Hurricanes back up to bat, having played 6 outs of defense and given up 3 outs of offense. Nobody's on the board at this point in our semifinal round. It's Bullets of Georgia, the EC Bullets, and the Gold Coast Hurricanes of Florida featured here. And on our double coverage semifinal field, it's Corona Angels and the Firecrackers, both of California, battling it out to see who will join together this evening on CBS Sports Network. Thad Anderson, Michelle Smith, Amanda Scarborough, enjoying some midsummer. It is midsummer right now. We're officially midsummer softball. Gold Coast Hurricanes trying to keep it lively over here in the third base dugout. We're seated right next to them, so if you're enjoying some of the pep, some of the spirit from the third base dugout, that is not Michelle.
That's not me.
She's not participating.
I don't sing that well.
Yeah, we might test you.
There might be some channel changing going on.
So Gold Coast Hurricanes back up against the pitching of Kelly Barnhill, who struck out 3 in the first inning, gave up a double to Ashley Bellens, but has been firing strikes in the early going. Here she's into a 2-1 count, is Barnhill, on 58 miles per hour. Gold Coast Hurricanes, number 5 batter, is where they start the bottom of the second. Kaylee Kvistad out of Wellborn, Florida. Mom, dad, sister, grandpa, grandma, all here in Georgia from Florida. And her sister is young Camden Kvistad, also playing in the tournament in the 14-year-old bracket. His pitch misses for a ball. That's a new addition this year at the TCS Nationals. 14-year-old division added for the first time this year. Was 16s and 18s in its first 2 years of existence. So 2012 and 2013, the first couple years of the event. Now here in 14, they've added the 14-year-old division. This ball bounces on a full count, and on base is Kvistad. So the leadoff batter on base for Gold Coast Hurricanes. And here's how we've gotten here today and all through this week, but those games played this morning in the quarterfinal round. Gold Coast beating Miami Stingrays 4-3, and the Bullets 3-0 over Texas Glory. That's how they got here. And Firecrackers and Angels got their wins over the Impact and Vipers, and they're battling it out right next to us, a 4-2 ball game over on Amanda Scarborough's field. Defense rotates on the bunt square, and strike on the board. Instruction from the third base coaching box: slow down the feet, to Tony Polk. Tony out of Niagara Falls, New York, Penn State. Looking forward to having her. They'll have to wait another year. She's an incoming senior, is Tony Polk. The leadoff walk to Kvistad, and Gold Coast Hurricanes now with a 1-1 count. Michelle anticipating the bunt here still from Polk.
Yeah, I think you need to do something, put it down, and she does effectively.
Good quick decision, no hesitation. The bunt was bunted hard back to Barnhill, and she takes the out.
You gotta love the way Barnhill knows that the bunt goes down. She holds her position, which is the middle of the infield. Her corners are gonna take down the lines. She charges that ball, no hesitation, goes right back to the bag. So look at the way she's gonna pop off of the pitching rubber. Immediately is gonna go to her shortstop. So great read, knowing that her shortstop's going to be in position to be able to make the throw to her. It's an outstanding defensive effort by the Bullets all the way around defensively.
Sacrifice not successful. Fielder's choice. Now Polk will run. Swing through, and good protection on the swing. The stolen base is taken, so Polk makes up for the hard bunt that forced out her teammate Kvistad. She takes that bag, so they're back to where they hope to be here with 1 out and a runner on 2. Ball fired back into the rotation, and the Bullets now reset on this 0-1 count with 1 out. Ball popped, and that will get foul off the dugout roof. Bouncing over toward the Angels and Firecrackers game. Gianna Arizarieta from Pembroke Pines, Florida, the batter. Another Penn State recruit will start there this fall. This ball hammered up and back turned to the infield. Ball caught. That's all that matters. The out made, and get a little dirty while you're at it. A little chalk, a little dirt. Never hurt anybody.
Arizarieta hits this ball a long way up in the air. You can see she's just underneath of it, but with their power, pops it straight back up. And look at the way the Bullets all talking to each other. Prairie's going to have to come back for that. Falls down on the ground, but holds the ball. So Becca Prairie, the catcher, doing an outstanding job making sure she holds on to that ball and doesn't let it pop out of her glove.
Becca Prairie just heading into her junior year of high school, a 16-year-old out here competing at a high level in this 18-year-old division. And now another offensive conference used here. This time Marty Cooper's going to step down and check in with Denver Keller on the 0-1 count. A little lip reading there going on, Michelle. What do you got?
I think he was telling her just to be patient, look for a pitch that's down in the zone, can't be chasing the rise ball up. And just know that anything that's at your waist is probably going to continue to go up. So really look for that ball right around the lower part of your waist, upper part of your thigh. Above that, though, you got to let it go against a good rise ball pitcher.
Denver Keller pounds this back into the ground. No problem for Barnhill, who easily records that 3rd out and sends the toss into the glove of Hannah Farrell. No score through 2, Bullets and Hurricanes. Beautiful weather in the mid-80s and low humidity the last couple of days, and everybody enjoying that atmospheric situation here in Georgia. Top of the 3rd is underway with a ball lifted to left field on the run and falling foul. A running effort, but not quite enough height on that pop to get there. Lily Mann out in left field made the running effort. The Hurricanes will set back the defense. It was Ashley Bellens, the shortstop, also heading out into the convergence along the line. And the ball lands foul for EC Bullets here in the top of the 3rd inning. They are in the heart of the order. Malia Bell, the second baseman, who popped up to shortstop her first time up, now sees a 1-1 count after that pitch is high at 61 miles per hour. Up and blasted. High ball hitting and thinking about 2. Ball is bobbled in left field. Would have stopped her initially, but the bobble results in the move up. Bell blasts a shot to left center, and she is aboard to lead off the top of the 3rd.
Now, Malia Bell, talk about extension. This is a pretty picture of it. Look at the way she's nice and loose with her hands, and then just great extensions. Hands come through the ball. She barrels up, and look at it where her bat is going to finish. Nice and high. So she takes a pitch up in the zone. She just drives right through it and punches it into the outfield. Pretty, pretty, pretty.
Ball bounced foul. The number 4 batter, Morgan Walters, right fielder. 0-1 count on the foul ball, 60 miles per hour from DiMartino. That swing That line drive from Malia Bell, just a power cut.
Yeah.
What a great, you can tell that's a product of repetition of swinging and working on getting your hands, keeping your hands high and working through that ball.
Great extension.
It's always fun when you see a player literally show off all the practice and effort they've put in. I mean, you can just see how that paid off on that pitch. This ball popped up and an out recorded. Hurricanes get an important pop up there, and the first out of the top of the third inning with ball lifted by Morgan Walters. Sent down the right field, or the first base line. That's not right fielder there. And it's Kaylee Kvistad gloving the out. Another ball hit up in the air towards center. Tag coming, and she will run. Throw coming from center. Double off from center field. The Hurricanes defense steps up as Gold Coast, a twin killing on the fly ball. And for the Hurricanes, just double checking on defensive rotation there. Gold Coast had Lexi D'Emmanuel. Lexi with the catch and the strong throw. The out in the glove and the out at the bag. Bottom of the third comes up next. No score. After D'Emmanuel throws a strike to Arizarieta for the double play fly out to center field, the Hurricanes will come back to bat. No score, Bullets and Hurricanes, and an update from Amanda Scarborough on Angels and Firecrackers.
Well, the score is now 5-2 as the Angels scored another run in the bottom of the second inning. It was their leadoff hitter, Jasmine Jackson, who drew a walk. A really, really nice at bat, battled through some pitches, even swung at a few balls that her head coach, Marty Tyson, kind of yabbed at her about, but still ended up drawing a walk. She stole a base and got moved over to third on a ground ball to the third baseman, and then an RBI single by Knighton, the 3-hole of the Angels, brought her in. So a lot of offense going on over here. You can tell that the arms are a little bit tired, but also just that these two hitting teams are just extremely offensive minded, and the Firecrackers continue to be aggressive in their at-bats, and that's been the big change now. They're in their second time through the order right now, the Firecrackers are. The first time through, I saw a lot of aggressive swinging at the first strikes that they saw, but not as much aggressiveness the second time through.
That's Nicole DeWitt batting for the Firecrackers, took that pitch up, and Rachel Garcia still handling pitching duties for Corona Angels. Rachel prepares herself for the delivery, and Rachel, her motto, not who starts the game, but who finishes it. So leading 5-2 right now, her team, the Angels. And they're not done, though, as that throw sails over her head. So one of those moments for the defense of, oops, let's get that back together and look a little sharper here.
Yeah, I like the way that Rachel spins the ball. She has very, very tight spin. She's still a young pitcher and has a chance to really even gain some ground before she heads over to UCLA, but has really good curveball spin, really good rise ball spin. And the Firecrackers got onto her earlier in this game, but just like she said, it's not about the way that you start, it's about the way that you end it. And you can tell that she's on a mission out there in the circle.
Nicole DeWitt, the number 4 batter in the order, just struck out. The cleanup hitter is out, and Genevieve Perez, DP, in the order today, batting number 5. That's Genevieve in the box there, a powerful hitter and capable of sending one deep at any point in an at-bat. Took a strike on the inside part of the plate. Genevieve, like all these players, we enjoy having some time to talk with them before these games, and great personality, great character. Genevieve here blasts one foul down the third baseline.
That's something important to note about the Firecrackers lineup, is that Tara Blanco is missing, as well as Amanda Sanchez. And if you have been watching our coverage of Triple Crown Sports and you've seen the Firecrackers play, you know that those two players are mainstays in the Firecracker lineup, usually hitting at 3 and 4, but Tara Blanco suffering an arm injury and Amanda Sanchez, I believe, a foot injury. So they're out. Potentially, maybe Amanda Sanchez might get in to pinch hit, but two core items right there in the middle of their order, they're out.
Genevieve Perez pops up down the first baseline. Amanda, thanks for the update, and we look forward to staying with you as we continue to see what develops between the Angels and the Firecrackers. 5-2 is the score, as the Angels will go back to the bats and work on adding to that 3-run lead. Meanwhile, back at the ranch here, a 2-2 count, no outs recorded, nobody on yet, so still on the leadoff at bat of the bottom of the third inning for Gold Coast Hurricanes. And it's been a grind through the batting order. Lulu Newmark, the catcher, is now in, but through the first 2 innings, the Bullets sent 11 players to the plate, and through the first 2 innings, and what do we have? I guess 8 players came to the plate for Gold Coast, so they have not rolled it over yet here on the order. Hoping to do so here in the bottom of the 3rd with Newmark leading off. 2-2 count. Pitch down and well in. And Barnhill now will face a full count against the starter of the 3rd inning for the Gold Coast offense. Pitch is up. Newmark gets rid of it. Foul ball on 64 miles per hour up above the hands.
And Barnhill continuing to throw hard. Nice movement. What it's all about with pitching, location, late sharp movement.
This ball is drilled to left, hovering along the line. Running catch is tried and not made, but it's a foul ball. That will drop for no damage. A lot of ground covered and the glove on it, and no out recorded. Full count remains.
This ball just gets bashed down the line. You can see it's carrying a long, long way out in left field. Looks like that's Dupree out there, has to go try to make that catch, and just pops out of her glove.
And Taylor Dupree, a couple of long runs out there and no reward yet. Not able to glove it, and the dropped foul ball in deep left will hurt the Bullets for the moment at least, with Newmark drawing a walk. That is the 2nd walk issued in the game by Barnhill, and a runner now checks in, so Gold Coast will set up some offense with the catcher Newmark walking and now yielding, and in her place over at first base is Jessie Brown, the runner. So the spirit in the Gold Coast Hurricanes dugout does not cease. This ball hard to 3rd, and the out will be made at first. Stepping up and decisively heading over to first base, Kelly Sinclair, the 3rd baseman, on the play.
Well, Kelly Sinclair is going to get to this ball very quickly. Lexi puts this ball right down the line. I'd like to see Sinclair pick this up and go to second. She had plenty of time to get the lead runner, but wasn't really even looking at it. I think she was surprised how hard that ball was hit at her. And championship play, a lot of times it comes down to having to get the lead runner, take some pressure off your pitcher.
Let's score the sacrifice for D'Emanuel, who got the bunt down. Pretty good bunt angle, a little hard on the contact. Yep. Ball rolled a little farther than she probably wanted it to. Powdery dirt here, good dirt. We were walking around the field yesterday. It'll be fun to take ground balls out here. It's a great surface. A little powder to it here on these surfaces in Cumming, Georgia. Lily Mann, the leadoff batter for Gold Coast Hurricanes, gets her 2nd at-bat, struck out her 1st time around, did Mann. And there sees a 61-mile-per-hour pitch, level the count at 1-1. Another bunt, that's going to be trouble. Well played, stepping up again and recording the out with efficiency. This time, no choice but to go that way, where last time maybe an option to second base. Here, it's a great job by Sinclair of jumping all over that. More of a base hit bunt style approach, and Mann is out at first.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Lily Mann runs very well. Nice bunt. In fact, she probably would have been safe if that ball wouldn't have handcuffed her, because she didn't quite get the jump out of the box she's used to. But Sinclair, like a cat over there at 3rd base, picks that ball up and hammers it over to first to get the out. That's a big out. 2 down now here with the runner at 3rd.
Swing through strike for Callie Jones. Out at second base, by the way, for the Bullets. Malia Bell rotating well on those bunts and recording her outs. A lot of ground down the right field line, too. If you don't make a good throw there, there's some running going on for a while with a 225 fence and some decent space on the foul grass. And that would be, there'd be some chasing going on there. So the execution, which is one of the most fun things to watch about these well-polished, well-oiled teams that we see. The ball control, the ball handling that goes on, and here's a strike again, and Barnhill is getting right after it. That now at 62 miles per hour. Again, working on top in this count. Has given up a couple of walks in the game. In fact, to each of the leadoff batters in the second and third innings. Nobody's come to the plate yet. Callie Jones gets some positive feedback there on the way she handled that pitch, sent it back to the backstop. And she looks at a 1-2 count with 2 outs. The runner, Jessie Brown, who came in after the walk to Lauren Newmark. Jessie Brown is at third base, 60 feet away from getting the 0 off the board. Callie Jones' smile on her face after fumbling the bat just a little bit, and here she'll swing through and she'll head back to the dugout. Barnhill again works solidly through good hitters. The 1 and 2 batters for the Hurricanes bun out and strike out, and it stays 0-0 after 3 innings of play. Bullets and Hurricanes tied. And the update from our other semifinal game, Amanda Scarborough.
Angels continue to score runs as their lead now widens to 7-2. They've scored 2 runs now in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and they're just kind of chipping away at things. They're not doing anything real flashy, but what I see from y'all's field and what's happening over here is that a runner will get on. There will be a sacrifice over into scoring position, and then it's nothing super out of the ordinary, but they're just making things happen. They're finding holes, they're executing, they're hitting ground balls to the right side of the field with runners at third base, and they're pushing runs across. 7-2 Angels.
Solid swing. Marina Ely of the Corona Angels was that base hit you just saw. 7-2 the count. Amanda seeing something totally different than what we're seeing over here. 9 runs on the board over on our neighboring field, our field number 1 at Fowler Park. And Angels here have a ball up and down, and Firecrackers will head back to the bats, but they've got a lot of work to do. Firecrackers down by 5 in that semifinal, and the other semifinal scoreless at 0. Bullets and Hurricanes. Gold Coast Hurricanes playing defense starting the top of the 4th inning. 0 runs allowed by their defense, and they're talented is, I don't know, one of many words we could put out there. Talented, efficient, strong, smart. Julia DiMartino, their pitcher, out of Brockport, New York, pitching for Gold Coast Hurricanes of Florida. And she begins this top of the 4th with a ball in the zone that's popped up to short, easily played, and the out recorded off the bat of Alexa Strid. Hashtag Team Fast Pitch is heating up. The best of the best have gathered in Georgia. Tell the world about it. Get in the game. Hashtag Team Fast Pitch. Use that all throughout the year for Triple Crown Fast Pitch commentary. Hashtag Team Fast Pitch. Pop up the shortstop for the 2nd time in 2 at-bats for Alexa Strid, who is the shortstop for the Bullets. Just popped out to her opposite position player, did Strid, and that brings Taylor Dupree to the plate. Going into this inning, each team had recorded 9 outs. Each pitcher had struck out 4. So I know it varies stylistically for a pitcher as far as a strikeout pitcher versus a ground ball pitcher, whatever you might be. You know, there's not one number or one approach, but when you're getting approximately 50% of your outs on strikeouts as a defense, I mean, if you've got a power pitcher, is that what you want, somewhere around 30 to 50% of your outs getting recorded that way?
Yeah, definitely. I think the big thing, though, is the defense has to stay alert, you know, because a lot of times with power pitchers, the ball can shoot off the opposite way, but you have to make sure that you're quick to react once the ball is put into play. I think the other thing that we noticed, the biggest difference between the pitchers is that, you know, Barnhill started out striking out the side, 3 strikeouts in that 1st inning, and then just a couple more through the order. So I think that's, you know, one of the things you really have to look at is adjustments that each team is making 2nd and 3rd time through the lineup.
Taylor Dupree, 1-2 count, takes ball 2 for a 2-2 count. Taylor Dupree wearing number 12 with the big white bow adorning the back of that jersey and the ponytail. There's Taylor. You can call her Scrappy, that's her nickname, or you can call her State Player of the Year in Georgia. Congratulations on that honor to Taylor Dupree. Now taking the pitch and running to a full count. 60 miles per hour. Good point, Michelle, on Barnhill starting off blazing with 3 strikeouts and a double allowed in that first. Here's a walk to Dupree, who works her way on base. So after a strikeout her first time, answers with a good at-bat and 4 balls to reach base. And that gives Hannah Farrell, the first baseman, a chance to hit with a teammate aboard. But you're right, the Hurricanes appear to be making some adjustments to the pitching of Barnhill for the Bullets, with those 3 strikeouts in the first inning and then just 1 since then. Runner breaks. Runner dives in safely. And that is scrappy. Taylor Dupree safe in at second on the stolen base.
Dupree, it's a really good jump. It's a nice curveball in the corner that the Hurricanes get to throw off of. So a nice snap throw down. But you gotta love the way Dupree just kind of flops into the base. So Newmark behind the dish with a strong throw, but just unable to get Dupree.
Dupree, who lists among her experiences having been hit by a car. So nothing at all to just go diving head first into second base. That's easy.
Take a look at her
dirt here.
Take a look at her slide. She kind of falls into the bag. You can see the way how she goes down and her helmet flies forward.
This ball is blooped into left field. Runner rounding third base. The first run of the game on the board. It's the EC Bullets on the single from Hannah Farrell, scoring Taylor Dupree.
Well, Dupree in scoring position because of that stolen base, and Farrell able to come up and get the hit. That's the one thing they lacked in the first couple innings. They had runners on base, but they couldn't get the timely hit. Farrell, she does. She comes through. Look at this ball. She's going to place it perfectly. The outfield playing deep, and because of the speed in Taylor Dupree at second base, easily going to put the first run up on the board for the East Cobb Bullets.
And that brings a conference for the Hurricanes defense. There you see Scrappy in the dugout, happily cleaning dirt out of her nostrils and ears and eyebrows.
Yeah, I was thinking that when it went down, it was a big plume of dirt that came up above her.
In fact, her forehead there, I think you can still see some, maybe, I don't know if that's leftovers, or I didn't get a chance to talk to her about her car incident she had where she said she was hit by a car. But either way, she earned that 4 bags with the walk on a deep count, stolen base, and scoring from second on the bloop single from Hannah Farrell, who dropped one in behind short. A good swing by Farrell on that pitch, and just did enough to power it out over the infield defense and plate the first run of the game. So the pitcher now, Kelly Barnhill, batting. Stays off the high pitch. 60 miles per hour through the shoulder range of Barnhill from DiMartino. There's a good delivery from DiMartino to go to a 1-2 count on the swing through strike, 61 miles per hour.
Well, DiMartino has done a good job of working herself out of some jams early on in the game. She got scuffed up in that last play with that ball falling in, but I like the way that she continues to battle hitters.
Barnhill puts it in a tough spot, but nicely played at shortstop, and the Hurricanes able to record an out on a quick play. And let's check back in with Amanda.
Well, for the Corona Angels, Rachel Garcia is in the circle, and she has sit down the last 9 hitters that have come up, including striking out the side back in the 3rd inning. So the way that she's throwing right now, back in the top of the 4th inning against the Firecrackers, the way she's throwing right now, she's getting stronger as the game goes on, and her movement just really sharpening up. She's getting these Firecracker hitters off balance.
Yeah, that's a tough update. What's your inning on our semifinal, Amanda?
We are in the top. We are in. Sorry, I'm looking at your monitor and I'm trying to talk about my game and it just threw me off. But we're in the bottom of the 4th. That's why I looked at the monitor and I was like, "What's going on?" She struck out the side in the top of the 4th inning. Rachel Garcia did. Sorry, it's really confusing to look at this screen. Thanks, guys.
There's a lot going on. So,
7-2.
Bunt down on our field here, and moving over to third safely is Farrell, who moved up on a ground out by Barnhill, and that's Nikki Cook for the second consecutive at-bat, on base with a bunt base hit.
Nikki Cook has great feet. She comes through the box and just drops that ball perfectly down. Outstanding speed. Hurricanes back a little bit on the corners and just unable to get back from behind the dish. Newmark. So Nikki Cook just doing a good job of really playing small ball now for the Bullets.
First and third, and the runners not going to go. Cook getting a good start on that bag with the aggressiveness of the base runners so far here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cook try to steal a base.
Yeah,
Farrell at third.
I think it's a good idea to try to induce a throw down. You know, I don't think that her teammate over at third, Farrell, will end up going unless the throw goes down all the way through. But at least it would alleviate the pressure of being able to get a force out at second should she take off. And there she goes. She's going to take off on a delay still as the throw goes down to third. So they try to pick off Farrell. And Cook, seeing the throw go down to third, Cook just takes off and she's going to find herself at second base.
Yep, snap throw to third behind Farrell, who dove back on a pretty close play but was in safely. And then the rotation just a little late, the outside slide, the grab slide on the way by, but now erased. Good work by the defense of Gold Coast Hurricanes. Good pitch by DiMartino to get out of a second and third two-out jam, and the catch by Ariza Rieta gets Hurricanes out of it. But they're down by one. Bullets put a run on the board. Thad Anderson with Michelle Smith here on our main coverage field for double coverage of the Triple Crown USA Nationals semifinal round. Amanda Scarborough keeping us updated on Corona Angels and Firecrackers. Both teams out of California, both teams right next to us here at Fowler Park in Cumming, Georgia. And on that field, the Angels dominating that semifinal by a 7-2 count. Here, a nail-biter. Ashley Bellens doubled her first time at the plate. The number 3 batter in the order for Gold Coast Hurricanes is getting some pitch mix right here. And an 0-2 count saw 53 and then 51 miles per hour to start this at-bat.
Well, totally have to respect her power after she bashed that ball. And for a double.
This ball shot to right, settling and handling. Not a problem in right field for the Bullets. They've got that important first out on the first swing. And Amanda's got more for us from our other semifinal.
Well, the Angels are back at it again. In fact, the Firecrackers actually just made a pitching change. Courtney Shaw, the starter of the game, is coming back into a tough situation. There's one out, bases loaded. They got this with a walk, followed by a single, and then a hit by pitch. And that's where we bring it now, 7-2. Courtney Shaw in the circle, and a vicious cut by Ashley Goodwin. That goes foul, though, but a lot of power here right in the middle of the order for the Angels.
Yeah, I hope you have your hard helmet on, your air raid gear. The Angels are swinging it on field number 1. 7-2, you see the score. And the Firecrackers in big trouble there against a team that can do it on both sides, offensively and defensively. That's a giant hole to dig out of.
Marty Tyson's teams have always been explosive offensively, and Angels just showing again this year the same thing. Tony Rico, though, his Firecrackers, we've seen them do a lot of great as well, but I wonder, you know, Amanda, if Tony Rico, if the club has been making any adjustments. Have the Firecrackers been doing anything to try to claw back into this?
You know, really what comes to mind is their defense. They've had a couple of errors, and I mentioned they have some youth in the circle. Courtney Shaw and Mel Almas they're just young, and he knew that was going to be the case with Tara Blanco injured, who is his veteran. She's about to head to Michigan, and I mean, between them, hit by pitch, walks, a few errors back behind them, and then some good pieces of hitting by the Angels, and that gives them 7 runs. And then Rachel Garcia in the circle. Firecrackers scored those 2 runs that they have on the board in the first inning, but since then, she's just been spinning it and shutting them down.
Well, it sounds like she's made some great adjustments to snuff out the Firecrackers.
Absolutely.
We're going to see the winner of that game in our next game tonight on CBS Sports Network, the championship game of the TCUSA Nationals. And Angels in great position now to move into a full TV coverage situation. The Angels up 7-2 and batting with complete control of the semifinal round over their state mates, the Firecrackers. Runner out at second base, ball fouled away again. The at bat, a good lengthy visit to the plate here.
Yeah, and that's really been the difference, is that these Angels hitters have made the Firecracker pitchers work. They've taken their walks. They've hit the ball on the ground whenever they needed to advance runners or score them. So it's just offensively, they're just clicking. There's not been any home runs. These fields are huge, 225 all the way around, some deep fly balls, but nothing getting out of the park.
Pitch up and fouled back. Ashley Goodwin, the batter of Riverside, California, is sticking with it. So a couple strikes against Goodwin here of Riverside, California. Just graduated high school. Did Ashley. Finally, something to get rid of her after a tough at-bat. Good finish there on the change of speeds.
Yeah, and did you see the tail of it that went down? What a great location for a 1-2 pitch, and it was clear that Goodwin could hit the up pitch a little bit. So Courtney Shaw goes down and in, takes a little bit of speed off of that. A pitch that I didn't see her throw in the first inning when she started this game. Or she threw it, but it was just a little bit up. And I'm telling you, this second time through that she's coming out onto this field, she just has a different look on her face, as if, you know, she said that first inning happened, I'm going to come out here, I'm going to readjust, I'm going to go at these hitters and give them my best stuff.
Well, the damage is done. It's exactly right, Amanda. And sometimes it's easier to pitch free. We put pressure on ourselves as pitchers, and sometimes when the pressure's off, it's so much easier just to play more relaxed.
Ball popped up, caught at shortstop, and the Angels hang on to that 5-run lead. Up big in the semifinal there, and the Bullets up by 1 on the Hurricanes. Some great leather work in center field to end the bottom of the 4th, and the Hurricanes. Kaylee Kvistad hit that ball well to center and is a line-out victim in the glove of Nikki Cook. I don't really mean to overdo this. That's a great bow too. I really think the bows are impressive. That one is fully presented.
And fully multicolored.
That's thorough. So Nikki
Perfectly
Cook
positioned.
playing some great center field defense. Nikki, we saw her bunt single in their last time around, batting in the top of the 4th. This ball popped foul to start off the top of the 5th. In the top of the 4th, the Cook, a bunt single. She did the same thing back in the 2nd, a bunt single, and also singled in the 1st after a deep count with 2 strikes and some foul offs. So Nikki driving the train up at the top of the order and defensively in this 1-0 battle. And the Bullets try to set the table here to expand on this 1-run lead. They start off with their number 3 batter, Malia Bell, at the plate with the 0-1 count. Malia singled her last time up and then was erased trying to tag up from 2nd to 3rd on a catch in center field with the Hurricanes defense taking care of business. Now an 0-2 count. Sun is now brightly shining on these talented young players as they're featured here on CBS Sports Network in the semifinal round of TCUSA Nationals. Ball hit hard foul down the 3rd base line. Another 0-2 pitch on the way. So working right around 60 miles per hour. Lulu Newmark in the circle, continues for the Hurricanes, now working her 5th inning here in the semifinals.
Here we go.
And a conversation will break out for the battery. So Newmark visits DiMartino. If you love softball, you want Softball Magazine, featuring hard-hitting editorials, tips, and columns from the sport's top players and coaches, and new product features, along with player and team spotlights. Softball Magazine, America's source for softball news. Softballmag.com. Softballmag.com. Well, the conversation didn't work out. That pitch missed by a bunch. Or maybe that was intentional, just to set something else up. Working up to come back down.
Try and raise her eye level a little bit and then come back. Curveball in the outside corner. So 0-2, they miss high. They come back with the curveball outside. That evens it up at 2-2. I think now's a good time to try and mix some speed in there. If you could slow it down to about 50, 51 miles an hour.
That's DiMartino in that 5th inning of work for her. Gets a foul back. And a 2-2 count. Try it again. Malia Bell. Swings and punches this up on the third base line, no problem. And leadoff out is in the books. Gianna Arizarieta with the catch. So Michelle, here in the 5th inning, EC Bullets 6 hits and Gold Coast Hurricanes just 1 hit.
Yeah.
And we've seen 3 of those hits. Half of the Bullets hits have come from their leadoff hitter, Nikki Cook. A couple of bunts mixed in there.
Yeah, I think the big thing for the Bullets is that, you know, they've dominated the game. They, however, have not gotten the timely hit. And you know, that's really what it comes down to. When you leave a lot of ducks on the pond, it allows your opponent to stay in the game. And, you know, I think by, you know, if you had to take a pulse of what's happened so far, they've won the game. They've won the fight, I guess you could say. But, you know, the Hurricanes are dodging bullets. Literally, that was kind of a joke. And East Cobb Bullets.
kind of a joke. That was a full-fledged joke.
You know, but really, that's the game of softball, is that you can do, you know, 2 out of things right, but if you're lacking in one area, it's tough to sometimes get the win. And right now, the Hurricanes are battling. They're staying in the game simply because the East Cobb Bullets haven't come up with that big blow to really, let's call it a knockout punch.
Barnhill just barely, or not, excuse me, not Barnhill, it's Morgan Walters just barely stays alive. Barnhill wearing the 33, Walters wearing the 22. Got me on the repeat digit. Walters, the number 4 batter, a strikeout and a pop-up. Fouled that back, maintaining a 1-2 count. Pretty decent swing on it, but will drift into center field and easily caught. Walters is this second out of this top of the 5th inning, and handling the ball out there for Gold Coast Hurricanes. Nice easy movement, just gliding over the ball, but doing everything right out in center field and making things look like no problem. That's what you love out of your center fielder. Just, I never had a doubt I was going to catch that. It's Lexi D'Emmanuel who made that throw out on the tag up earlier in this game from center field to third base.
Yep.
So
that was a big play.
Yep, that was one of the ways that the Hurricanes erased a lot of traffic that's been going on. In the 1st inning, the Bullets ended up with bases loaded with 2 outs. They had 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. In the 2nd inning, they ended up with 2 runners on, had a runner on in the 3rd, and got that throw out on the tag up in the 3rd. In the 4th, finally got that first run, and like you said, Michelle, you know, after a lot of ducks on the pond, a lot of innings that looked likely to be more productive, and the Hurricanes wiggled out. That inning, it was more of a manufacture, a pop out to start off the inning, then a walk and a stolen base and a soft single to left is how they got that run in. So I guess that also shows you that you can blast away, and you know, manufacturing, producing, and playing small game a lot of times is what it's going to take to get a run up against, especially against either one of these teams. Both very talented in the pitching category and defensively.
Yeah, definitely.
So the Bullets not in great shape here in the top of the 5th with no threat started in their first couple of batters. 2 down and now a full count. Our umpires today, by the way, Ken Allen is behind the plate out of Montgomery, Alabama, 22-year umpire. At first base, Corey Hastings from Pinckneyville, Illinois, a 6-year umpire. And Percy Wilson over at third base, Port St. Lucie, Florida, 9-year umpire. Thanks to Ken Allen, Corey Hastings, Percy Wilson, the 3-umpire crew on this semifinal game. And the Hurricanes play some solid defense, get some good pitching, and will quickly work through the top of the 5th inning as Ashley Bellens puts away the pop-up. They're down by 1, bottom of the 5th next.
Angels leading the Firecrackers 7-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Angels up to bat. Courtney Shaw in the circle for the Firecrackers, and a different looking Courtney Shaw than started this game.
Courtney Shaw picking up the pace in the circle. Her team down 7-2. You know, I was going to mention earlier, Courtney in our media day earlier today was probably the focus of attention. We were goofing off a little bit. They had a big bowl of fruit, and she offered to throw me a piece of watermelon. So we're going to do the deal like a dog where you throw it and catch it in your mouth. She hit me right in the eyeball. And the team really enjoyed that. We had a good time. Courtney had a good laugh at it. So I fired a piece of watermelon back at her, and literally, I'm not kidding, it went in her mouth, and she wasn't paying attention. And I stuck it right on her front tooth. And Courtney was great about it. She gave me knuckles on it and said, you know, touche, and had a great attitude. Courtney, a young pitcher working against a tough team in a tough spot, down by 5 in the semifinals on television. And Courtney, well, she'll be a senior this coming year, but still just 16 years of age is Courtney. And getting some exposure right here. This is a good way to season yourself up as a pitcher, facing the Angels in a hole 7-2.
Well, that and just the fact that she started the game and got put back in is just a great experience for any pitcher to get to go through that. You faced a team, they roughed you up a little bit. You didn't start the game your very best, but what are you going to do about it? How are you going to come back? And that's really what's going to be able to define you in the circle.
And Courtney pointed out that she wanted to thank her parents for their endless support and dedication for her softball career. She's verbal to Cal, has Courtney Shaw. She gets a foul away, and the Angels leading and batting on that second field of our coverage. That's what you're looking at right now. Amanda Scarborough has been hanging out on that Firecrackers Angels game for us, and will join us for a 3-person booth in our championship broadcast with Michelle Smith. I'm Thad Anderson, and Amanda, it's Paulina Anasis, the batter, who's fouled a few off, and here fouls another one off solid. The Angels put up a lot of runs on our field over here, Amanda. It's 1-0 EC Bullets of Georgia on top of Gold Coast Hurricanes. So two completely different stories on these side-by-side fields. Any thoughts from you on the Angels' explosive offense here and how that might play in this championship game against one of these two teams we're seeing?
Well, how much better do you want to feel about yourself going into a game than scoring at least 7 runs? I mean, they still have potential to score a few more and going into the championship game. And just quality at bats, even there, you see a line out to second base, but it's like a full count, battle. They're just seeing the ball really well, fouling off a lot of pitches, and it doesn't really matter what side of the plate that the pitches are on. They're just making solid contact.
Next up, number 30.
Well, it's 7-2 on our B field coverage in the semifinals as the Angels look to seal up the deal and move on to the championship of the TCUSA Nationals. And back on our main field of coverage, the Gold Coast Hurricanes with 1 out. Tony Polk led off and struck out to begin the bottom of the 5th. And now Gianna Arizarieta is the batter. And there she takes strike 3. Little paint job by Barnhill at 62 miles per hour.
Now batting number 17, Denver Keller.
Well, I think one of the big questions for the Bullets is going to be, as they go here and Barnhill goes, her second game of the day. If they do win this game and go into the championship, is Barnhill going to have enough gas left? When I asked Coach, you know, before the game, if they have one weakness, what would it be? He said, I wish we had more depth in the pitching department. We're basically going to have to ride Barnhill. So it will be interesting to see how long she can last.
Yeah, Barnhill wearing the face mask and working away here in her 5th inning of this championship contest for the Bullets. It's Becca Prairie doing the catching, and there you see Kelly Barnhill. Nice look at Kelly. She's 17 years of age, 2015 high school grad. Kelly said her personal saying is, "Don't think it only hurts the ball club," or any quote from Bull Durham.
That's right.
This is what she laid down for us and said the best thing her coaches have taught her: believe in your pitches.
Yeah. Very important for pitchers. Be committed to the pitch before you even step on the pitching rubber.
Has interest, does Kelly Barnhill, as she faces Denver Keller with 2 outs and now an 0-2 count. Pitcher Barnhill, what do you want to be when you grow up? U.S. Ambassador.
It's impressive.
We'll take it. I'll gladly have her represent me in any line of work. And a great line of work here on the 3-strikeout inning. Now up to 8 Ks recorded by the pitcher Barnhill, with a strikeout, and a 0 still on the board. We've played 5, EC Bullets 1, Gold Coast Hurricanes 0. That's 1-0 Bullets on top of Hurricanes. A strikeout the side inning in the 5th for Barnhill to go along with her strikeout of the side back in the 1st inning. And now the 8 Ks on the board by the Bullets pitcher Barnhill. And she's got some hitting support from her teammates, especially from Nikki Cook, who's 3 for 3, but the Bullets have strung together 6 hits in this game and managed to push 1 run across the plate. 1-0, and we go into the 6th inning of a 7-inning game, and the same scheduled over on our B field. 7 innings on the books, and working toward that, the Angels mowing through the Firecrackers, Amanda.
Yeah, we're in the top of the 6th inning as well, and led off the inning, Christina Inouye did for the Firecrackers. Hit the first pitch she saw, was aggressive, and it paid off. She ended up getting a single to get on first base, and then a Rachel Garcia wild pitch moved her over to second base. So right now, the cleanup hitter Nicole DeWitt is up at the plate with the runner in scoring position and no outs.
So Inouye batting in the 3 spot, leads off with a single. It's a 3-4-5. Inouye, DeWitt, and Perez, and here DeWitt sends it to right. Angels defense is solid, and the runner will stay at 2 on the line out to right by Nicole DeWitt, bringing Genevieve Perez to the plate. Perez and then Hillary Edior doing the catching in this game, at least to start off the game for the Firecrackers. Nicole Bates, the shortstop, scheduled to bat after that. An important inning here, Amanda, in the 6th. They really need something out of this to tighten up that margin.
Yeah, especially with where they're at in their order. They're kind of right in the middle, and you get a runner on, you get the leadoff hitter on. You want to be able to produce something from that, cut that 5-run lead. I mean, not necessarily in half because it's an odd number, but just chip away at it a little bit, because once you get to the 7th inning, 3 runs, 2 runs, that seems a little bit more doable than a 5-run deficit heading into your last chance.
Perez tried to cut that deficit by 40% with that last swing. With the home run cut, just missed it. Now she fouls one back, so a good count here for the Angels with that out recorded on the line out. Now Garcia sitting on a couple of strikes against Perez.
I really feel like she's been the difference maker, and Michelle was asking about adjustments that the Firecrackers could do and what the difference was. But really, I feel like what's been the difference is Garcia in the circle, because she's just been so tough against them, and now this is their 3rd time to go up against her, and she's just been battling. I mean, I can't say enough good things about her, from the way that she started the game to the way here in the middle of the game that she's really getting stronger.
Pitch in, and the appeal. A check swing, so Perez stays alive on the ball in the dirt. Good work behind the plate to go ahead and appeal it and put the tag on Perez, just in case they give you the drop 3rd call. Perez steps back in again. Teammate out at second base, bounces back. Good work by the pitcher, check it, and Garcia keeps the runner where she was at second and records the out. So a couple of down there. The Firecrackers down by 5 with a runner on. We're back on our main field coverage with the Hurricanes and Bullets in the top of the 6th, 1-0. That ball flies through to make it a 2-1 count. Pitching change for Gold Coast Hurricanes. Jenna Goodrich of Davie, Florida has taken over in the circle. Jenna, a senior-to-be in high school. And this ball's fair down the line. Blasted, rolling, and earning 2 bases. Alexis Strid with a strong swing down the line after a couple of pop-outs. Her first 2 times up to short. This time a rocket double down the line.
Strid's going to get a good look at a pitch on the corner. It just kind of lays a little lazy over the inside part of the plate, and Strid is just going to rotate around this ball, drive it into the field, and you know, really that's what it's all about. Leadoff hitters getting big hits late in the game.
Now Scrappy might be called upon to bunt. Takes a strike. In the box now is Taylor Dupree, who scored the only run of this game. Back in the 4th inning. Here she pops one back to pitcher. No out recorded behind the play as Strid hustles back. But Dupree softly pops to the circle, and Goodrich grabs it. Big run out there for the Bullets, the visiting team in the top of the 6th. This is their next to last chance to bat. They've got to face the Hurricanes offense twice more. We've talked about it. Deeper fences here at Fowler Park in Cumming, Georgia. So 225. You'd have to get into one real solid to get one out, but there's some hitters on both sides who could pull that off. So for the Bullets, they really like to pad this one-run lead just for avoiding any big blows the Hurricanes might throw out.
Yeah, any way you can do it. An insurance run in the 6th or 7th inning always makes a huge difference, not only to the psyche of your own team and your own pitcher, but to your opponents. You know, they're having a hard enough time trying to get the goose egg off of the board, and when they know they have to put another one up, 2 up, can be mentally tough on you.
Hannah Farrell stays with it and will drive in the run. The ball pops off the left fielder for Gold Coast Hurricanes on a little bit of a funky bounce for Callie Jones out in left field, but the great at bat and the productive swing from Hannah Farrell, not doing too much with it, just punching it through the 5-6 hole, driving in the run.
Well, Farrell's going to get a pitch. It just gets it right past the shortstop, and you can see the way that the outfielder Jones is coming in. Kaylee's going to come in, and unfortunately that ball pops off of her glove. It allows both runners to advance. So for the Bullets, they pick up that big, important run. Struett comes in after her double. Farrell, she's going to move up to second.
Alexis Strid goes and gets some hydration in the dugout. Strid, we talked about earlier, is the player at BYU who will be heading into her sophomore year, redshirted out at BYU last year. So she works her way to the plate. Told us her nickname is Pinky. That's because when she was 12, she showed up for a softball tryout in an entirely, I think she said, fluorescent or neon pink clothing, and the nickname Pinky stuck. And then Hannah Farrell follows up, the first baseman for the EC Bullets, with that important single. We were just talking about the insurance run, and Farrell taking it as seriously as we were. Farrell of the 3 horses, 6 cows, 10 chickens, 5 sheep, 7 pigs, says she'd like to be a farmer on her farm when she grows up. Today she is a productive hitter. Farrell with 2 singles and a walk in this game. She just gave way to a runner, but Farrell 2 for 2, 2 singles, has driven in both of the runs in this game, and also walked her first time up to bat. And now Kelly Barnhill, the, to this point, very successful pitcher for the EC Bullets in this semifinal game. Lily Vallejo is the runner at second base. You see 23 there on the bag. She'd love to add more insurance. Vallejo of Milton, Georgia, readies herself on second base. As Goodrich sends the pitch, bounced back to the backstop. Coming in from Goodrich at 61 miles per hour. Kelly Barnhill, strikeout and a ground out in her 2 trips to the plate. Got the runner hung up now between second and third. Goodrich, good play. And good fake, arm fake by Arizarieta, and the scoring position runner is taken away. Vallejo thrown out, and now 2 down. Runner over at first base after the batted ball is Barnhill. She'll probably give way to a runner herself, waiting to be replaced, and she will. And while that happens, let's check back in with Amanda.
Well, the Angels had a pitching change with the bases loaded here, and Rachel Garcia now out of the game. Alexis Osorio now pitching. She's signed to play at Alabama, so another tough situation for a relief pitcher to come into. Bases loaded, a big opportunity for the Firecrackers here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning.
And didn't miss their chance by hitting the ball right on the screws, but right at second base, and so it won't pay off there, as the Firecrackers had a shot to put themselves in position, but it's Jasmine Jackson, the second baseman for Corona Angels, who flags down the line drive. So Angels still sitting in good shape, up 7-2 in that semifinal contest. And for Gold Coast Hurricanes, down 2-0 here with 2 outs. Gonna flip the pitcher again. Megan King now throwing her warm-up pitches. Committed to Florida State University, Megan King, and that reminds me to mention both of the coaching staffs for these squads. Speaking of Florida State University, the head coach for East Cobb Bullets is Greg Schnudi, who played on the 1970 Florida State NCAA runner-up baseball team, lost to Southern Cal 2-1 in 15 innings in the championship of the College World Series. And so the head coach, Greg Schnudi, for EC Bullets. 1970 is when he was doing it at Florida State. Now he will watch an opposing pitcher who will be also heading into the world of the Seminole, along with Greg Schnudi, Derek Parrish, Patrick O'Reilly, and Todd Walters on the coaching staff for EC Bullets. Schnudi coaches bases, as does Patrick O'Reilly in the mix for the coaches of the Bullets. And talked about him earlier, Gold Coast Hurricanes, Marty Cooper and John Standard are the on the field leads for Gold Coast Hurricanes. There you see Marty Cooper keeping a few notes in his third base dugout. Handles the third base coaching duties. John Standard always alongside with a smile on his face. A CPA and financial planner is John Standard, also a first base coach who describes himself. We said, how can we pick you out on the field? He said, large. I'm just large.
Big guy.
So thanks to the coaching staffs who put these together, put these groups together, and get them just fantastic exposure in highly competitive situations, prepare them for the next level. As the EC Bullets up by 2 send Kate Giddens to the plate. Giddens now batting here in the top of the 6th. Grounds one here. Runner was moving. Play's going to go to first, and it will be successful to record the third out. More solid shortstop play for the Hurricanes coming from Ashley Bellens, but they are now down by 2 with 2 more chances to hit. Now happening in the Hurricanes, down by 2. Treat your team right with destination locations, signature memories, professional staff. Youth teams, high school teams, and college teams. Get in the game at TripleCrownSports.com. Thank you for joining us today on CBS Sports Network. Triple Crown presents the TCUSA Nationals from Cumming, Georgia. With Michelle Smith, I'm Thad Anderson, and Amanda Scarborough, our satellite informant just across the way here at Fowler Park in Cumming, Georgia. First pitch grunted through for a strike, and Lulu Newmark leads off. The bottom of the 6th, the Hurricanes, with a 62-mile-per-hour strike against her. Newmark hitting in the number 9 spot for the Hurricanes. Just her second chance to bat here in the 6th inning, so it's been relatively tight. And as a catcher there, Newmark took a strike that she's pretty sure was not one, and not much you can do there but smile and hope for a better next pitch. Marty Cooper, been around long enough to know not much you can do. It's, you know, calls happen, and they've happened both ways. And Hurricanes didn't like it. Of course, if you're the Bullets, you're saying, that way, you've earned it. You've earned it. Barnhill, you've been doing it, and you're pitching well enough that you're going to get some latitude.
Yeah.
Now an 0-2 count. Why not try it again? Becca Prairie, pretty good leap behind the plate to hang on to that pitch that went sailing high through the zone. Becca athletic behind the plate.
Barry moves well, locates the ball, gets to the ball.
Here she'll catch a foul tip, strike 3. So the strikeouts now piling up for Barnhill.
And that, on my sheet, counts 9. That's a rise ball. You can see the way it's just late, it's sharp, it's nasty. And Barnhill just continuing to mow down the Gold Coast Hurricanes.
Kelly Barnhill, you're right, 9 strikeouts now. And a total of 16 recorded by her team here in the bottom of the 6th. 16 outs, 9 of those have been strikeouts. Ball bunted, and it will spin foul. Hustling down the line, Lexi D'Emmanuel, the batter for Gold Coast Hurricanes. Lexi of Weston, Florida. Let's look at Lexi hitting in the number 10 spot. Sacrifice bunted her first time up and moved a teammate along to third base. Now facing an 0-2 count. 63 miles per hour from Kelly Barnhill. on that last pitch. D'Emmanuel, the batter, verbal commitment to Boston College. Stays alive with a foul off. Her mom, Lorraine, played some basketball at Miami-Dade, was a point guard. And of course, Lexi, in her sports, she lists track, volleyball, basketball, and fast pitch.
Love it.
And surfing and fishing. She also listed chocolate chip cookies, the secret to
Yummy.
Lexi's success. Good work by D'Emmanuel to stay off that pitch. Battling here, the Hurricanes. Only 5 outs remaining for them as an offense. Down by 2. And they have not mounted deep threats at all. And that is 5 consecutive strikeouts now from Kelly Barnhill.
Well, Barnhill, even though she's a little tired, you can see she's still loose and relaxed in her snap, and that's what it's all about. That's why she gets that late sharp movement. 10th strikeout here through 6 innings of play.
5 consecutive, 6 of the last 7. The one that wasn't a strikeout was a line shot to center field. That was a great forward diving grab out in center by Nikki Cook. So the diving grab is the only thing in the last 7 outs that wasn't a strikeout for the defense of the EC Bullets. Sitting in pretty good position, but now facing the top of the order. They got 2 away, and this is the start of the 3rd time into the order now for Gold Coast Hurricanes. Lily Mann, left field, was her starting defensive position today, and Lily hitting the leadoff spot, a strikeout and a ground out. 0-2 count. Finds a way there, fisted and shakes her hand.
Yeah. That never feels good. Comes in on the handle like that, jams you up.
Lily says best thing her coaches have taught her, staying short to the ball. She did that for sure on the 2-strike pitch, but here she's going to go down just like the 5 before her. That is 6 consecutive strikeouts. And Lily Mann, the number 1 batter in the order, is the 3rd out of the bottom of the 6th inning. EC Bullets 3 outs away from climbing into the championship game of the TCUSA Nationals, up 2-0 through 6 innings. 1 more inning left in our semifinal here. Meanwhile, our other semifinal, DeWitt back in the box. Big swing, Amanda.
Yeah, and that one, way to join us just in the nick of time. Nicole DeWitt coming up with 2 runners on, going to make the score 7-4, excuse me, 7-5.
So Amanda, reset us if you can on the situation there. That's a 3-run blast and a 7-5 score. Top of the 7th is where we're at, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly where we're at. And Allie Wester got on by a bunt single. And then, well, what led everything off, excuse me, I'm sorry, was the 9-hole Varesco, who was a pinch hitter. She got on with a bunt single. Allie Wester came up to get an infield single, another lefty. 2 outs, Nicole DeWitt comes up, the cleanup hitter, and she just turns on one to go over right field to make this score 7-5. And still 2 outs here for the Angels out in the field.
The Angels now with the bases clear. Genevieve Perez with her team down by 2. And Amanda, we talked about the depth of these fences. That is a shot.
Yeah, yes. Especially down the line like that. You're used to seeing 220, 225 to center field, but for all fields to be that distance.
And we're in Cumming, Georgia. Perez drives one, and what a great catch in center field. That's a game ender, Amanda, is that correct?
That absolutely is. Wow, what a nice catch by Ely out in left field. Oh, excuse me, that's Casas out there in left field. Nice.
Yep, Zoe Casas had taken over in center field, and Zoe puts away the win for the Angels. They win at 7-5 over Firecrackers. They will be featured, the Corona Angels, on our championship game that comes next on CBS Sports Network. But first, we've got to settle things over here between the Bullets and the Hurricanes after this break. 2-0 to the 7th and final inning of this semifinal matchup. East Cobb Bullets and Gold Coast Hurricanes. East Cobb batting and leading by 2 in the top of the 7th inning. For East Cobb Bullets, Kelly Sinclair, the number 2 batter in the box. Kelly 1 for 3 today with a single back in the 1st inning and stranded out at second base. Takes strike 1 from Megan King. Kelly Sinclair batting number 2 spot, and Gold Coast Hurricanes also scheduled to send their number 2 batter up in the bottom of the 7th. So each team sitting on the number 2 batter here to begin this last offensive effort of the semifinal. Bullets with a run in the 4th and a run in the 6th. That's how they got this 2-run lead established. Great pitch by Megan King. 61-mile-per-hour pitch makes it a 1-2 count. Sails up high for a 2-2 count. Megan King takes the ball back, and like to be a nurse somewhere in her future, says Megan, but told us that she looks like a chipmunk when she pitches.
I don't know about that. I don't think I agree.
Yeah, I think only maybe facially. I don't think anywhere else in the delivery, but we get a look at her face here. She tells us hashtag Chippy and hashtag Chip Nation. Let's see, she has a chipmunk expression when she pitches, says Megan King of herself. 2-2 count to Kelly Sinclair. Sinclair lifts it foul and dropping down into the grass for another pitch delivery from King.
Well, this is a tough position for King to be in. Her team down by 2 runs when she enters the game late. You know, it's a big responsibility to try to leave the score the same so that our offense has the chance to try to put some runs up on the board and scratch out a win.
Two-two pitch is strike 3. Looking on the K. Sinclair goes away on a 61-mile-per-hour finish.
Well, King, the lefty, picks up her first strikeout. Look at the way she's going to throw this pitch on the outside corner. It looks like a screwball. And she's going to get the call. That's a nice pitch location.
Ball 1 to the number 3 batter in the order, Malia Bell. Bell fires on that pitch and lifts it to the right side. We have not seen a whole lot of traffic over that direction from the Bullets today. This ball is blooped over first base and handled back behind the bag on the gliding catch by Denver Keller.
No, that's exactly right. Most of the work, most of the balls have been put into play by the Bullets here to the left side of the field.
After that Hurricanes defense, it's been Ariza Rieta at third base, and it's been Bellens at short, and a fair number of balls in left field also. Two down. Hurricanes would love to see a 3-up, 3-down run through this top of the 7th to build some momentum into their last gasp offensively, trailing by 2. Morgan Walters stays off the high pitch. Morgan Walters in with a 2-1 count. Ball bounced foul down the line. Walters' dad, Todd, is one of the coaches on the Bullet staff. There's Megan King, the lefty, getting the ball back to face a 2-2 count against Morgan Walters. And the current batter, Morgan Walters, her dad, part of his description was no beard, no gray hair, and not short. I think that's a comment on his fellow coaches. He's making a point about where he stands in the rotation.
Too funny.
Morgan Walters stays with it, fouling off a pitch at 53. Good adjustment by Walters to keep the hands back on the slowdown. Good approach in the box by Walters. Like her stance and her stride and the way she gets the bat through the zone. Still fouling him away. Good thing we're not playing indoor softball here. That would have been an out, bouncing off the backstop and then sailing across all the way over to first base, fouled back, and then it kicked. I don't know if it hit a pole or what, but it flew all the way around over to the first base side of the diamond to Kvistad, who caught it out of the air. Here comes 2-2 again. Deuces with 2 outs. And we'll do it again. Megan King staying with it. Morgan Walters, number 22, facing the 2-2 numerous times here.
Yeah, Megan King, I like that last pitch, the way she gets underneath the hands, the righty. Gotta love those lefties.
Along with her dad, Todd, Patrick O'Reilly also coaching, and those two guys have been coaching her since she was 4 years old. And now she'll go down. Walters swings after a long at-bat. Megan King wins that one and gives her team a shot to rally it up in the bottom of the 7th, 2-0 Bullets. Quite a day for Kelly Barnhill, who is trying to finish a 7-inning complete game. Right now sitting on a shutout and a 1-hit performance. That 1 hit came back in the first inning. Ashley Bellens, a big double, got into one and hit it, earned it. It was a solid double for Bellens, and that is the only base hit of the game for Gold Coast Hurricanes. 12 consecutive batters have been retired by the defense of the Bullets and the pitching of Barnhill. In those 12 consecutive outs, 8 of those have been strikeouts, and the total damage, 11 strikeouts in 18 recorded outs by the Bullets through 6 innings. Here we go with the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Barnhill's just been fabulous. Her rise ball has been spot on. She'll throw it low in the zone. She'll throw it for a waste. She has the ability to mix speeds and throw the ball down in the 50s, and then she'll also throw a drop ball to change the eye level of the hitter. So she really has just been a conundrum to the Hurricanes here this afternoon.
For Gold Coast, we talked about it in the top half of this inning. Each team was set on their number 2 batter to start the 7th. So the Bullets started with Sinclair strikeout, Bell pop out, and Walters strikeout. Strong inning by Megan King for the Gold Coast defense. This bunt is popped up and an easy out grabbed. And that big first out at the bottom of the 7th is caught by Becca Prairie.
Well, and that's really the key, really. You know, if you go back and dissect the book for Barnhill, she's recorded the first out of every inning except the 2nd and the 3rd. And those were really the only 2 innings where there was any sort of a threat going on. So just makes your life so much easier when you can get that first out of the inning.
Yep, not a lot of traffic today for the Hurricanes. They have not put much wear and tear on these bases. The Cumming Forsyth County Parks Department won't have to depreciate anything today on usage. As far as Gold Coast, they've really not had any strong threats here. There's a strike pitch through on a 1-1 count, 62 miles per hour. Barnhill, yeah, we're talking about the strikeouts, and sometimes it doesn't go this way, but it's definitely gone this way for her today. She has been efficient in her counts and working from the advantage position in most of these counts.
Well, and she gets ahead early. That's the big thing. Pitchers that have the ability to throw first pitch strikes, getting ahead, are in attack mode. They just make their lives so much easier because then the hitter doesn't know where the pitch is going. When the hitter is ahead in the count, they know the pitcher has to come to them. Therefore, they're going to throw it through the strike zone.
This is the holder of the only base hit of the day for Gold Coast Hurricanes, Ashley Bellens, the shortstop. There she chased something up at 61 miles per hour and gave away a ball instead of a 3-1 count, now a 2-2 count. A little help. And swinging, ball is loose in the dirt. Prairie, no problem. Good work by Rebecca Prairie blocking and recording the out down to first base. And that is 14 consecutive retired. If this 15th consecutive is retired, it is ball game. And the East Cobb Bullets playing in their home area here in the just north of Atlanta, Georgia. They would be featured on CBS Sports Network coming up next in the championship of the TCUSA Nationals from Cumming, Georgia. And the last chance here with 2 outs, Jordan Roberts, the number 4 batter. Their team down 2-0.
Barnhill with 12 strikeouts, looking for a baker's dozen here with this last out of the game. And the amazing thing, Thad, is still uncommitted. She hasn't decided. She's thinking between Stanford, as we mentioned earlier, and Florida. Tim Altman, the Gators just won their first national championship. I'm sure he'd love to get a kid like Barnhill.
And she's pitching to Jordan Roberts, who is committed to Florida. Just 16 years of age, Jordan, a 2016 high school grad, but has made that commitment to the Gators. Says when she grows up, Jordan Roberts, who just fouled one back, she'd like to be a WWE diva, is her
Really?
preferred
Wow.
professional track. Right here, she's trying to keep this game alive. There's a
It's a smackdown.
look at the pitcher for the Bullets, who has been well spoken of us, or by us today, and has earned every bit of the accolades against a stacked Gold Coast team. This ball pounded upward to short. Bullets moving on to the championship game of the TCUSA Nationals, with the catch made by Alexis Strid, out number 3, and the last 15 batters to come to the plate for Gold Coast Hurricanes are outs, and that is how the Bullets record the 2-0 win. A run in the 4th, a run in the 6th, and a fantastic performance defensively and in the circle. Michelle, we saw impressive performance here by the Bullets, and now we're going to go Georgia and California in our championship.
Yeah, just an outstanding effort by the Bullets. You have to tip your hat to Kelly Barnhill. She was just el fuego for the Bullets, and they put up the runs. They didn't put a lot up, 8 hits, but they punched the 2 across, and that's all that counts. It'll be interesting to see if Barnhill can come back for their next game, for this championship game. I'd love to see her in the circle. Could really be a great matchup.
Well, our thanks to all those who supported this effort today. Our production crew, great work, and the Cumming Forsyth County Parks Group, and the Chamber of Commerce and Anna Barlow, Wayne Moore, part of the Parks Group, who helped put us on both of these ball fields. Now we're going to tighten it down and get to just one field for the championship, as the Bullets and the Angels will do that next. For Michelle Smith, Amanda Scarborough, and our entire crew, I'm Thad Anderson. The TCUSA National Semifinals are produced by Triple Crown Sports in association with CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Coming up in about 30 minutes, the championship, Bullets and Angels.